Welcome to the Museum of Aquarium and Pet History. Today we have a box that came all the way from Paris, from France. And the box, you can see it's got some damage. It looks like that really cheap corrugated that comes from China. But I digress. We have to live with it. Okay. Ooh. Ooh, double boxed. Good job. But peanut explosion. I'm thinking maybe see if I can contain these peanuts. Okay. Ooh. Actually, even though the box was really crummy, they packed it pretty well. I mean, to double box it like this. And I think it went regular mail, actually, which was surprising in itself, because I don't really trust regular mail internationally. I prefer FedEx or UPS, just because you get a tracking number that really works and things don't get lost. I've had many things lost in the mail, including two things recently from USPS. Now this is well over 100 years old, probably more like 150 plus years old. So it's amazing that it's in the kind of shape that it's in. I don't want to. Okay. Oops. Make sure I get my ninja knife. So this is a wood and wire birdcage. This would have been 1850s or before. Here's your little door right here. The best way to date a wood and wire is what kind of intricacies they have on the cage. Like this has your fretwork down here, or what do they call this? They call this scroll saw work or fretwork. So the scroll saw work in the United States started in 1860s, in England 1830s, and the rest of Europe probably about the 1800s. So I'm really guessing, because this came from France and it looks either French or German. I can't really tell which, but it did come from France. So I'm guessing somewhere between 1800 and 1830. If it didn't have the scroll work, it could be 1700s. The wooden wire cages, because I have a catalog from Germany that's all wooden wire cages predominantly, and it tells you the type of worker that would have made those kind of cages. You know, could have been a tinsmith, could have been a wire worker, could have been a woodworker, that kind of thing. But it doesn't tell you the person's name. So the people that made bird cages, they were craftsmen, and they didn't really do production. They did, you know, a few, like maybe 10 of these were made. I don't really know, but not many. It wasn't until really the Industrial Revolution that we really had, you know, birdcage manufacturers that were doing massive production. But before that, in the United States, we had companies that made refrigerators, ice boxes, bicycles, and bird cages. So they made like 4 or 5 things. And you may think to yourself, well, what's the difference between a refrigerator and an ice box if we're talking about 1850s or so? And the only difference is the amount of zinc they put on the inside to keep the ice and to make it colder, because there was no electricity back then. There was no light bulbs back then. So basically that was the 1850s. It's just an amazing amount of intricate woodwork that went into this cage. And the color is a gold metallic color. I don't know if it's original paint, but it looks to me original. It looks, well, there's a tiny bit of green underneath, but it's hard to say. It's got a couple of perches up near the top. It has no feeders. It's missing some of the wires on the side, so it's difficult to tell what kind of feeders would have went with this cage. But it is missing some wires, so this will go to Rick and he will tune it up. Again, wooden wire cage, so we're looking at generally 1850s or before. We don't know manufacturer, but we do know as far as like the type of person that made it, you know, a woodworker, a wire worker, a tinsmith, that kind of thing. All right, so that is that, and that is a pretty darn nice cage. Well, thank you for coming, and again, I really appreciate all you guys, and I will see you again next week.